Hi there, Angela here at So Bright Alpine Quilting. Welcome back. Sorry about this morning's video. We had some problems with the pixelating. Hopefully it'll work out this afternoon. So jump on board, say hello if you're here, let us know that you're here. If you've got any questions, type them in the comments and we will get back to you. This afternoon we're talking about fat quarter quilts. What is a fat quarter, you might say? Well, a fat quarter is a pre-cut piece of fabric. Generally they come in a bundle. Sometimes come on their own. We have lots of them cut up in the store. I'll just grab one from this box here. So a fat quarter, for those of you that don't know, is half a metre down the length of the fabric and half the width of the fabric. So you can get 4 of them out of a metre, hence quarter, and fat because it's not 25 centimetres, it's double that. So they're a very versatile piece of fabric. And when we're designing quilts, we like to use them so that we can use lots of different fabrics in our quilts. So what I'm going to do is show you some of the quilt designs that we have and some of our fat quarter bundles, and hopefully will inspire you to use some of your fat quarters and get started on making a fat quarter quilt. Behind me you can see this quilt here is called Stargazing. It's a new design from Lynn Wilson Designs. Lynn's from Bowral in New South Wales. So this one uses a bundle of fat quarters, lots of different ones, lots of nice bright colours. You can see the design here, and this one also has a little matching template. So for this one here you would need 18 fat quarters for the stars and borders and 9 fat quarters for the backgrounds. So it's a good way to use up all your pieces of low volume fabrics as well. And we're lucky enough to have this one on loan from Lynn. So thank you, Lynn. Steve's going to give you a bit of a close-up of that. Not really, but yeah, anyway. Let's see, how many have we got on? I'll just check the numbers. Sorry. Okay, so when I'm designing a quilt pattern, I generally start with the fabric because that's what I have here rather than a design in my head. So I try to use the fabric to highlight the design. And I use a program called Electric Quilt for most of my fabric designs, quilt designs, and that way I can interchange all the different fabrics. So originally when I made this quilt, I made it with this range here that was called Farmer's Market. And that was back in 2008. And then I've redone it in 2018 with a newer range called Treasure Hunt from Marcia Durst. And I can do that for you as well. So any of our designs we can colour with any of the fabrics that we have in store. And in that way, I also like to use designs that don't chop up the fabric too small. It's not always necessary to chop the fabric up into tiny little pieces. So some of the designs reflect that. So in the right type quilt, you'll notice that it has the larger feature fabrics and smaller fat quarters that go around it. Messy Squares was another one that was a range of fabrics, and that one can use fat quarters in the smaller one, but it will need yardage for the larger quilt. One of the recent ones was this 4 Seasons Table Runner, which is just a small bundle. So that one was a bundle that we put together using the Seasons fabric from Jason Yenter, and that is how it turns out. So it's just a small pack of 12 fat quarters, and you can make it this lovely table runner. So this one has just mainly cutting and piecing techniques, some half square triangle, larger half square triangles, a little bit of raw edge applique on the top, and then as much or as little quilting as you like. Some of my favourite fat quarters come from K Facette Collective. So this is, if you've not heard of K Facette, there's 3 different designers in the collective. You've got K Facette, Philip Jacobs and Brandon Mabley. So they're all designed with the same colour palette, and They release a couple of times a year, release a couple of different bundles. So these are the ones we have at the moment. This one is called Hot. So lots of gorgeous designs in those ones, typical of those designers, and some of them we also have individually. So that one was Hot. This one is Cold, and the beauty of these bundles is they're all colour coordinated for you, so you can use them in lots of different projects. The newest one is this one here, which is Cool. So that one's got some of the newer ones. This one came in May probably, and this one has a corresponding Hot. So lots of hot colours, black and whites, hot reds and purples. It's really scrummy. So I would probably be going to make, you could use it for this quilt behind me. It would also look good in this design here, which is called Pastimes. This is another one of Lynn's. So this one, as you can see, has a feature. So you use the larger square for the feature, and then you chop up little borders. We've actually got this quilt as well, so I'll show you that in the other room when we go in there. The other one of Lynn's that we have is this one called Inner Spin. Great one again for a fat quarter bundle. This one uses 20 fat quarters, and that one also has a template set with it as well.
Why do I need a template for?
Well, the template just makes it easier to cut out instead of using the marks on your ruler. Last one from Lynn is this one called Chain Reaction. Bit of her take on the Irish chain. Next up we have Potpourri, which was from Laura Hine for Wyndham Fabrics. Lots of beautiful gelati fabrics in that one. And some low volumes, some small prints and some larger prints. And I'm currently working on a project with this one, combining it with the panel, Queen Bee panel. So as you can see, we've got the panel in the centre and then just the two coordinating borders, and it's going to be a quilt as you go quilt, and that'll be released in spring. So there are 8 different panels, and that will go to make a lovely quilt. And then we have Good Vibes Only, another bright one. This one is also from Wyndham Fabrics from Shayla Wolf. Lots of bright geometric prints on this one. And some lovely words that you can use to highlight in the larger pieces. That would also look good in this pattern here called Easy Street. And the other Potpourri one would be a good one for beautiful bows, which is a quilt as you go design from Monica Poole of Pattern Pool. So that one uses 16 fat quarters. Also a favourite. We've made that one a couple of times. Another one for using solid fabrics. So don't forget, solid fabrics are great for using in your little projects. So this one is called Colourworks from Jean Wells. So that one can use fat quarters or skinny quarters. And it would also look good in, if you didn't want to use all solids, you could use something like the Dit Dots. So the Dit Dots, there's a range from Jason Yenter of In the Beginning Fabrics, which he has as his basics that coordinate with lots of his other ranges, just like Florographics 5, which is one we have. This one has 29 fabrics, so that's a nice range. Beautiful reds, yellows, blues, greens, purples, pinks. So all of his ranges coordinate back with his Dip Dots. The current range that we have from Jason Yenter is called Haven. It's a little bit softer. So this one has 3 little colourways. So we have a purple colourway. There's 8 fabrics in each one. So this one is the purple. This one is the blue colours, blues and greens. And then we have the multicoloured one, which has reds and greens and blues in it. And so they're little bundles of 8. And we also have the bigger bundle of the 24 fabrics as well. So then you see all that there. So nice soft designs for those. We also carry a range of Indigenous fabrics. There's a bundle of 20, or these ones are also available individually. They're great for this little project called Outback Tracks, which features that Drunkard's Path shape. So you could either do that with the QCR ruler or the mini QCR ruler, or we do have a paper template in there as well that you can trace off and cut your shapes out with. But that's a nice quick project for a weekend, and a good way to use the Indigenous fabrics in combination with some plain fabrics. What else have we got? This one from Monica Paul again is Fancy Free, which is another great fat quarter bundle. So this one, actually, you get if you get 2 fat quarters of each fabric, you can cut one up on the back, on the front, and you can use one in whole in the back, or you can just use a combination of fat quarters on the front and other fabrics on the back. So that's a nice quick and easy stitch and flip. You can also add embellishments with that one with the Rick Rack. That helps create a little bit of dimension, a little bit of interest. Other little bundles that we have around the store, you'll see they come and they go. This one here is from Avery by Beth Ann. That one is a Wyndham fabric, blend fabric, I think that one was. And another run here is Tim Holtz. So this is Abandoned by Tim Holtz. Lots of grungy fabrics in there. He's got a few brighter designs in this one, which is really pleasing to see. And we've combined this with some of his basic, which he calls Provision, which looks like a oily garage floor. But that's a great little bundle. Abandoned as well. Abandoned, yes. That one is called Abandoned. Apart from that, what else did I have to show you? The quilts. Oh, Miss Daisy was another one. We will see that in the other room. So that's a good fat quarter one. Quilt As You Go again. And the perennial favourite, Sweet and Sassy from Monica Paul. Also uses 18 fat quarters, so that's a good one for using a coordinated bundle or using up a scrappy bundle. So generally when I do a fat quarter chat like this in person, I get people to bring fat quarters from home, and then we can combine their fat quarters from home with other fat quarters that we have in the store, help them choose a project and get sewing. So we will just quickly run through the store and show you some of the other quilts we have. Down this way. So here you can see the Pastimes quilt that we talked about earlier. This one's been made with a lovely big bundle of Anna Marie Horner fabric by Lynn Wilson, which is just gorgeous. Here we have the Sweet and Sassy quilt, which we made with a arranged from A Day in the Country. When we first opened in around 2008, I think I made that quilt. Cherry Cheer is another one from Monica Poole that uses fat quarters. The Flowering Wreath from Freebird, also a great fat quarter bundle quilt. Lots of opportunity to combine solidy fabrics and prints in a great background. This here is the Chain Reaction that we showed you before. So this is another one of Lynn's quilts. So you can see how you don't have to chop everything up too small. So this one is a big square with the small squares around it. And lots of piecing tips and hints in those patterns as well. This is in the spin. And you can see where you use that those 2 templates that will help you cut out those fabrics. And there's also the template used in the pieced border here. On the table we have some beautiful Wonderfeel fabrics that we'll be talking about tomorrow when we talk about free motion quilting with panels, and on Sunday when we talk about the free motion doodles class, and the beautiful rayon, shiny rayon threads that we'll use in the applique class when I talk about the Angelica, the angelfish, and the rest of the undersea projects. So here we have confetti, which is a 50 weight cotton thread, and you can see there's about 60 different colours of those. In the rayon we have several different bundles. They come already in the box in a coordinated pack, mainly solids. A couple of the packs have some variegated ones in them. The blue one has variegated ones, so blues and greys. So these are the ones that we're using in one of the Quilt As You Go panels when we do the whale and the dolphin and the turtle. And we also have Fruity, which is a 12 weight thread, a beautiful bold thread. If you want your quilting to stand out, 12 weight thread is the way to go. So we have a few different colours in the Fruity, which we used in the panels. And then we have the Spaghetti, which is the 12 weight solid thread. And that one also comes in about 60 different colours. Lovely bold colours, nice neutrals here as well, and some very nice threads. Oh, there's the right type there on the door, Steve, which was another one that we showed you earlier. So you can see how you can combine fat quarters of a feature fabric with lots of different coordinates as well. So I hope that's helping you to choose your next fat quarter quilt. You can see pretty much all of the bundles on the website under the Craft Alive show stand category, or they'll be in and amongst in the other categories pertaining to whatever they're called. And I've popped most of the quilt designs in the Craft Alive category as well. But if you can't find anything, just give us a call, send us an email, and we can help you out with your next quilting project. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.